What up, everybody? It's your boy Avell did it back with another one. However you got here, whether you already subscribed to the channel, whether I popped up on your news feed, whether somebody told you about me and you checking me out for the first time, however you got here was meant for you to be here, so I appreciate it. Before I get started, if you can hit that like button and hit that subscribe button for the content. You did it? Cool. Yeah. Shouts out to everybody who keep hitting that like button, that subscribe button, sharing the content. Y'all already know I truly appreciate it. So, thank you. Thank you very much. I truly appreciate it. All right, who we got up? We got my girl Candace Owens up.
What?
Yeah. So everybody know we have we got like 30 plus days till election time. And, I've been just doing a lot of, I wouldn't really call it research. Well, yeah, you can call it research. I just been, doing deep dives into seeing what's going on with the candidates and just checking them out. And of course I ran across my girl Candace, and she was saying the same things I'm saying, but she got a little bit more deeper with it.
What?
Yeah. So, y'all know I did a video the other day about how Donald Trump was my homeboy. I'm his black homeboy, right? And, I was saying about how Kamala keep pushing this issue about how black she is, but we know she ain't black. Like I was saying, what black person cook greens in the dang gone bathtub? Come on, man. She's trying so hard to be black, and like I said, it doesn't matter. Black people are more accepting to any other race, I think, than any other ethnicity of people. So for her to just hammer it in, I'm black, and we know you not, is weird to me. It just makes me figure about what else are you lying about. So Candace, she just did a super deep dive into showing her Indian heritage. Her mom is Indian, her sisters, and she didn't grow up poor like she was trying to tell us.
What?
She wasn't working at Mickey D's like she tried to tell us.
What?
Yeah, she wasn't working at no Mickey D's, man. And kind of find out her mom is super rich. She's a doctor. She grew up in a super good household, not no middle class household, a super rich household, and she making it like she was just this poor kid who grew up, came to the States and grew up in the inner city, and that's just not true. And I'm like, why is she, what harm is it to say, hey, look, I grew up rich in an Indian household. This what I am, and this who I am, whatever, But she wants the black vote so bad, she's willing to say she's black.
What?
When there's clearly pictures of her with her little Indian robes and all of this stuff on, and she tell us her pops is Jamaican, like there ain't white Jamaicans.
What?
So Candace was breaking it down. I'm just breaking it down a little piece of what she's saying, but she broke it down in her thing where she's talking about, she talked to her, supposedly her uncle, and she went into her heritage, and everything she found was untrue from what her book is saying. From the pictures she took, where she found out some of the pictures she took in her book were actually pictures of slaves, which is crazy.
What?
Yeah, she claiming them was her family members, instead of showing her white side and her Indian side of the family. So here it is. Let's just keep hear a little bit of snippet of what Candace is saying. Here we go.
Bon Wolf writes, I'm an older woman from the country. Back in the day, we called the large containers used for cleaning greens tubs. No one used a bathtub to clean their greens.
See?
Not knowing this detail is where she messed up the lies. She is full of crap. Proctor writes, nobody black is washing collard greens in the tub. Nobody. Leonard writes, how does a Hindu Indian woman raise two proud black girls?
That's
in
what I'm
response to
saying.
her sitting down with Matt Barnes and being like,
Hey, think about it though. Most of those Indian people that I run across, they don't even mess with black people like that. You know what I'm saying? They don't. It's a fact. It's a fact. They don't. So I'm not saying that they don't at all, but the majority of them don't even look at us the same. And even though their skin color is just as dark as ours, it's a fact.
you know, my mother raised two proud black girls. Literally, how? The math isn't mathing, Kamala. How does that work? Can anybody do that? Can anybody just raise two proud black girls? I just don't get it. Cecilia writes, very interestingly, I am an Indian still living in India. Kamala's mother was an Iyer Brahmin, an upper caste who are very, very prejudiced.
Ooh.
And blacks don't stand a chance. To suggest that her mother raised her and her sister to be two proud black women in white America is really awkward. Yes, as I said, I want to do like an entire week dedicated to Kamala's mother. I might even do an entire week dedicated to Doug Emhoff. I should, but he has.
See? It's like when you tell one lie, you got to keep telling lies to keep up with your lies. And here you got a smart woman like Candace Owens who has millions of followers talking about she want to dedicate a full entire week into who Kamala Harris' mom is.
What?
Hey, believe me, this is not the kind of publicity Kamala want right now during this election time. Because I was looking, this is her second full video she's done in the last few days, that she's put out in the last few days about her digging into Kamala Harris and who she really is. And she went deep. And I really don't think this is what Kamala wants. She would have been better off just saying who she really is, just to keep it real.
Hasn't said anything about Janet Jackson. I'm sure right now he's just like, you know what? I love Janet Jackson. I'm not going to say anything about Janet Jackson. Doug is probably realizing right now to just stay away from the topic of Janet Jackson altogether. And Kamala probably wishes she did. I feel like maybe Michelle Obama called and was just like, girl, did you really have to go for Janet Jackson? And she was like, I didn't know. I didn't actually grow up with any of this music that I said I grew up with. But we're here, and I'm going to keep going. And I know that there was a lot that's happening. Also, that woman that I highly suspect, is Donald Harris's real mother that he's hiding and merging all of these stories with. Or I guess she could be a grandmother, but no, I think it's actually his mother because of the timeline of when she's born in 1909 and he is then born in 1938. I very much believe that the more that we look into her, we will be able to sort of establish this network of people who I believe are working on behalf of Bustamante and other people who have very shady backgrounds, just appeared in countries and began overthrowing things under the guise of freedom. And I just really want to illustrate here. This makes Kamala Harris exceedingly dangerous. I don't quite think people understand what we are dealing with here.
And I'm with Candace on that. That does makes her super dangerous because she's such a chameleon. We don't know what to believe and what her agenda is. I'm just keeping it real. Because if we have somebody that is willing to go to extraordinary lengths to hide who they are as far as their ethnicity background, just to get votes from black Americans, we don't know what her agenda is once she's truly in office. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen what she did in California. I was there. So I seen what she did in California, and then she turned it all around. So Candace has a good point of saying this is somebody that could be dangerous because we don't know what their true agenda is. That's real. Let's continue.
You have a woman who has a grandparent or a great grandparent who was tight with Bustamante, who was rounding up Rastafarians and cutting their dreads off and killing and torturing them and calling for a genocide of them, who can just not have any guilt, even slight guilt about that, and just pull out a black card and just be like, yeah, like I'm going to be the first black president, and talking about her heritage in Harlem. Like, someone who's capable of that just feels nothing in their soul, is not a person that you want to give more power to. So I am calling on Kamala Harris and her team to simply answer these questions. I'm calling upon them. I think that we have produced enough evidence here that something is not adding up, that this is now legitimately substantiated, that there are a lot of holes in their official legend that they tried to establish for the public back in 2019. I think it would be the correct thing to respond to it meaningfully, to tell us where to look so that we can make sense of your background. Maybe there is really just a double barrel Christiana and another Iris who really did live the lives that you say that they lived, who happen to have the same names of the workers who worked exactly where they worked. Maybe there is. I'm open to that, like, 2% possibility.
In case y'all don't know, when she say workers, she's saying basically like in Jamaica, I think that the people that worked on not the well, kind of like a plantation, because this was after slavery, well, so-called slavery was abolished. But what she's saying is Kamala's people, they had money, and when they were in Jamaica, they were the workers there. They took pictures of with Kamala, you know what I'm saying, and she's using those black people as saying those were her family members when really they weren't. Just like she used the one guy in her book that she calls her uncle, right? And dude, blacker than me, you know, she called him her uncle. But come to find out, it's not really her blood uncle. And the lady she called auntie is not really her blood auntie. Those were her mom's friends who grew up, who watched her grow up, and she wind up calling them uncle and auntie. But yeah, so those weren't even her real black uncle and auntie.
And again, I'm not doing this because I am trying to, like, say that she doesn't have a right to respond to it. I'm doing this because this investigation is important to understanding who it is who is asking for more power in America. That it is the most relevant thing. And yes, this began with something very simple, Janet Jackson, but now we are somewhere so far beyond that every single person should be interested, because as I said,
I am.
If you have it within you to take the identity of black people who were washing your clothes, right?
That's
dealing
crazy.
with your plantation, your sugar plantation, which means they were descendants of the slaves that you owned. And you felt nothing when you stole their identity to create a story about yourself so that other black people would be enslaved by you in a different country. You are disturbed and dismissed as far as I'm concerned. I welcome her to come on the show. I welcome her to have a phone call. I welcome her to do whatever she wants. Any Harris person would like to clarify some things. I'm an open book. I'm open to changing and modifying anything that I've gotten wrong. We are investigating, and I'm starting to draw some conclusions here, but it is still an investigation, and I'm open to hearing any place where we've gotten things wrong. So guys, unfortunately, next week I'm going to be on vacation. Not unfortunately, I'm actually really thrilled to go on vacation, but it's unfortunate that we're going to have to stop this investigation. Don't worry, I will still have content for you. So if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to hit the little bell that will tell you the episodes will be just interviews that we have done. Actually, incredibly, on Monday, do not miss Monday's episode. You remember the plane MH370 that just disappeared? Do you ever wonder, like, what happened to that plane? Because I sat down with someone who presented a very solid theory of what happened to that plane. Like, literally make sure you hit notifications on YouTube and that you take a listen, because it blew my mind, but also...
So there it is. She's been doing her investigation on Kamala, And she's came to the same conclusion that a lot of us had. And it's not really a conclusion, it's right there in front of our eyes. And it's crazy now how people, we see stuff on camera, we read stuff that's documented, and people still come to us and say that's not true. Don't y'all find that kind of weird? You know, and people should know when you're running for president, people are gonna dig into your life, and they gonna find something. They gonna find every little thing that went wrong, just like the husband she with, you know, slapping down his ex-girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? You know, he got all kind of divorces and, you know, all kind of stuff going on. And I want to know too why she's never had a baby, but she's so adamant about women's rights, but she's never had a kid. It's a lot of stuff about her that's weird to me, but she's not willing to answer any of that stuff. She's not, because she can't. She reads off a teleprompter. She like Lil Wayne. They both can hit the stage together because they both read off of teleprompters. It's true, you know. But let me know what y'all think down below. Do y'all really believe that she's a black woman who cooks collard greens in the bathtub and who worked at McDonald's when she was little to hustle and save up her little money? Do y'all really believe that? I really want to know what y'all think down below. So please, if you looking at this, leave a comment and let me know, all right? That's all the time I got for this topic. Please make sure you guys hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Y'all already know I'm going to be back with some more reaction videos, some more news. So I'm definitely going to catch y'all on the next one, all right? Peace.